says Carl.
What in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, it's Jason with Denwerks. Got something pretty cool today. A 1937 Ford Club Cabriolet. Super cool car. Really nice condition. Actually, it's really special because it was built by Winfield, and it's highly documented. I have a lot of paperwork on it in general, you know, receipts and everything like that. But he built it for a good friend of his named William Victor of Victor Gaskets back in the 80s. So this was a car that Bill absolutely loved. He loved that Gene built it for him, and this was a car that he did not ever want to sell. He was an avid collector of cars in general, but this was the car that he was absolutely not going to sell. And actually, when he passed, the family kept it for a little bit, and it was bought by a gentleman in California that got it from Mr. Victor's wife. So super cool car, a lot of history, and it's not very often that you'll find a documented car like this, and it's a cool looking car. I mean, you know, 37 Cabriolets don't grow on trees. So we'll go ahead and show you the lights. I want to let you hear, it does have a fan, electric fan. Hopefully you can hear that. It's underneath the dash there, but go ahead and shut it off, and we'll just walk around it here and talk about it in general. You can see here, I love the lights on these cars. 37 was just, you know, a lot of people like 40s and stuff, but 37 is actually my favorite when it comes to Fords. I love the teardrop headlights. I love the way the grille comes back there. It's just awesome looking. So we'll go ahead and show you the lights working. There's high and lows, and then it also has blinkers that have been integrated in there. You can see that. And these are original headlights as well. You know, it's pretty amazing the condition of the car, because it was built, you know, again, like from the 80s, and the paint is from the 80s. This is the paint that Winfield put on it, and there's some subtle custom stuff that was done to it as well. The first thing you'll see here is a little sticker that Bill put on it, but he was highly into music, inspirational type music and stuff, and you know, he just liked a lot of different things, but just love music in general. There's a tape inside there that he had put together in the car too. But a couple of the things that you'll notice on a 37 Ford, you can see here, normally this would go straight across, and they built it, you can see it drops down probably a good inch, maybe inch and a half. So that's one of the custom things about the car. One of the bigger things too you'll see is the window frame is tilted back a little bit. They probably brought it back about an inch and a half, and then the top had to be modified. I think it was actually lowered just a little bit. So all the framing inside, I'll show you later, has been modified by Winfield and their shop. Another thing you'll notice here, that the fenders or the running boards usually come out about that far and integrate here. They had pushed the running boards in probably a good 4 inches, I guess, and you can see they modified the way the fender is in the back and then up here in the front. So pretty just subtle things. And actually, when they had it, when he originally had it, the back end was a little bit up. You know, Bill liked a little bit of a rake to it. So the guy that unearthed it in 2011, he had changed the interior to white, which was a good move. And then he had it lowered a little bit in the back, more like a tail dragger look. So it's just a neat car. I just wanted to pick out, you know, a few little flaws and things on the car. It does have a few little chips, little scratches. I guess it's, you know, 35 years old since it's been done. But you'll see a little crack right there at the bottom of the frame. The windshield wipers don't work. Open the cowl real fast, you know, so that opens and closes. You know, you can see some little stress cracks here on the door, a little ding right there. I'm not going to point out every little tiny thing, because there's definitely little things in general on the car. I'll walk around it here. You know, the front is actually really clean. Little chip right there. There's a little scratch right there. I'm just trying to show you everything about it in general. Bumper looks actually pretty good. A couple little marks on it. You know, definitely the car's been driven. I mean, he liked to drive the car. And you know, that's what he had it built for. Little chip there. Absolutely no rust on the car at all. I haven't seen anything at all underneath or anything. No, you know, rust bubbles in the doors, or you know, down here would be a bad area. You know, it's actually pretty clean. Numerous little chips right here, light scratches. You know, some of this stuff's been touched up. Fenders look good. A couple little chips there on the fender. A couple more like there. So if I point at something, that's what I'm kind of pointing at. It's just kind of a couple little things. You can see a little bit of checking right there. Maybe the gas came out a little bit. Looks great from behind. Really cool. You can see here, hopefully you can see this, a little bit of crazing right here in this area. This is an electric antenna, which the radio's not working, so I think that's why it's not coming up. But that's something they put on it as well. Tail pan looks good. You know, a couple little imperfections, a couple little stress cracks there. But I mean, pretty typical for a car of this age. You can see some little, they're not bubbles or anything like that, but you can just see some little imperfections under the paint. And hopefully you can see that in the video there. You know, I can see him here. There you go. Just walk around this side real fast. Tires are actually in really nice condition. They're Firestone 6.0 by 16s. You know, they're obviously used, a little bit aged, but they look good. That wasn't actually a little scratch. I thought it was. If you look down here at the bottom, again, no rust. A couple little chips there on the door. Little one that's been touched up there. You can see some little sanding scratches right there on the fender. That over time, you know, probably from shrinking. This here's probably the worst scratches on it. Looks like it got rubbed against something, and it has some chipping that's been touched up quite a bit right here on this leading edge. But overall, that's probably the worst thing about the paint in general. You know, tires match all the way around. Just want to take a look at the top. It's faded just a little bit. It's kind of a blue top. You'll see some little marks on it, but overall the top's really nice in general. You know, no bubbling or anything up here on the leading edge. I'm gonna go ahead and show you just a little bit of a mar right there. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the lights working in the rear. You can see the lights work. You got blinkers. Did you have the headlights on? Or was that bright? Oh yeah, there we go. There's headlight lights. So go ahead and start it up. I just hear it run for a second. Oh, it actually sounds pretty good. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. It sounds nice. Actually, it just sounds perfect. I love the sound. Go ahead and look at the top again. Just a couple little marks there, but overall looks good. A couple little stress cracks right there. You know, I won't be able to point everything, but try to do a good job there so you know what you're getting. So we're gonna go ahead and show you some more stuff. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the interior real fast. Super cool interior. You know, nothing out of the ordinary here, but just a nice look with the white interior. Originally, when it was done, in the 80s. It had kind of a, I think it was a brownish and blue kind of velour interior. Just really looked aged. So the guy that got it from the wife, he decided, you know, let's go ahead and switch it to a kind of a cream interior, which I think was a great move. You know, it didn't affect any of the Winfield stuff, and you know, Gene probably would have done the same thing. I mean, it just looks really classy that way with the white walls and stuff. You know, and it matches up with the gauges, factory gauges and stuff. So pretty cool, actually, and he did a nice job. You can see he put black carpet with white beading as well. So super nice. You know, not a lot of wear. You can see a little kind of where a belt came in there, a loop, and kind of cut it just a little bit. Just caught it. Back behind the seat here, you can see a couple little separation, or not little separation, just kind of almost look like a cat, but it's not a cat. I think it just from age. You can see there's a couple little spots there, and I think that was probably, I don't know if that was a piece of trim that went across here, because they're kind of uniformed all the way across. So there might have been a little piece of trim that went there. You can see this light, it does work. So this top was modified. You can see it's all chromed, you know, but it was modified because the windshield was laid back, and then they lowered the top just a little bit. So Winfield modified these bows so it would sit down a little bit lower, and the rake of the windshield, obviously everything had to be kind of moved and everything. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel. Looks nice, a little crack, you know, little stress cracks, pretty normal. You know, this is where your headlights are and stuff. I love the original radio. It does, I think it does power on. We'll show you some other stuff. I'll run things, start it and drive it here in a little bit, but love the knob, just perfect. You know, we'll take a look at the jams. You know, they all look good in the car in general. So I'll take a look at the door panel again, and you'll see here too, I think that this had to be modified as well, because this would have been a flat piece when they modified the doors I showed you earlier, but usually they run straight across here. You can see how it dips down. So he must have had, and I'm just guessing, had to do something with this trim. Not 100% for sure, but I would imagine that he would have had to. So we'll go ahead and hop on the other side and take a look. Hey, we're on the passenger side. Just wanted to take a quick peek on this side as well. You know, again, doors, everything looks good. You know, inside the GM here, not any issues that I can see. Actually looks pretty clean overall. There was a radio put in here. It's not functioning right now, and we might have to check the power lead. Bill Victor, Inspirational Favorites, and I think there's a tape in there too. That's a new tape, and a little map here of, I guess this is Los Angeles that he had put in here, because he was from Los Angeles. So there's a little map that we included, kept it in there. You know, but I don't know. There's a couple. There's the original clock, which doesn't work. There was a couple little holes there. I don't know what went there. Probably maybe pieces of trim. But overall, interior looks great. You know, super nice to ride in for sure. Go ahead and look at the door jamb. You see a little chip right there, but just a clean old car. Just a nice piece of history. Hey, we're gonna take a look underneath the hood real fast. I love, you know, you just flip the hood ornament over and flip it up. I'll try to do it with one hand. Here, there is a prop rod. So here, I'm switching hands. Right here, you just flip it over and I put it on top here. You can see where I just put it, just for later on. But you know, super cool little motor. I believe it's a 1949 and up. It is actually a Mercury. At least it's got Mercury heads, but it's probably a Mercury engine. I think you can see this 8cm. You can see the distributor is off on the side there. The earlier engines would have been in the center, but I think in 1949, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think in 1949 they moved it up here more like a modern distributor. Also, the heads are 24 stud, and you can see where the water inlets are, you know, set up inside the middle there. You can see also it's been upgraded to a 12-volt system, alternator. There will be a new alternator on it, by the way, when you get it, and I might take a picture for the auction. And you can see it's got a nice air cleaner on it as well. I believe it's a 239. I'd have to research a little bit more. It's possible. I think there's a 255 or something like that, and 53. But I know it's 1949 and up engine. So we'll go ahead and start it up. I was going to do a little part number. I think it says 3BA8RT on the intake there. So we'll go ahead and start it up here real fast for you. Sounds really nice. You can hear a little bit of a exhaust leak. I think it's on that side. There's a little crack in the exhaust manifold down here, so that'll need to be replaced. If you look here, the VIN number, and we took a picture for the auction, the VIN number is stamped in the frame as well. But you know, overall, pretty clean underneath the hood. It actually runs really good. You can see the cowl, all looks good. Hopefully you can see if they can see this exhaust manifold leak here. And there's a little crack. See it? See it right there. Right where it goes into the exhaust pipe. But overall, nice and clean. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. Little running motor. I love the sound of a little flathead. So we'll go ahead and check out some other stuff. Just gonna go ahead and show you underneath the trunk real fast. It's actually very clean in here. You can see it's all matched to look like the front. You know, even underneath here, it's all redone. Underneath here, there's little snaps. I'm not going to snap it, but if you look in here, there's the spare. But there's little snaps, so you can take that off. If you look underneath here, two wood inserts back inside there. Looks actually really good. Hard to take a photo of that. I'll show you this other one here real fast. Yeah, if I could get that piece of wood out of there. There we go. You know, again, it's not all rusty. It's filled in the back. It actually looks really good. You know, so anyways, hopefully that gives you a good look. You know, if you look at the channel, it all looks in good shape as well. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Hey, we're gonna take it out for a little spin here. But first, I just wanted to show you a couple things. You know, behind the hood, you can see the miles, 04506. I'll show you that in a minute after we drive it. You can see the temperature reading 160. There's the little fan that I was showing you guys earlier. Left is on, start button. I'll turn the key and put it on. horn works, and I'll show you this thing underneath the seat real fast. Actually, I'll have Keegan do it in a second. The radio, hopefully you can hear that. There was a little buzz, you know, but there's the other one in there that doesn't work, but when you turn that on, it buzzes. Choke, the choke works. This throttle, it's not working, and I'm not sure. This is the cigarette lighter. I don't think that one's working because it doesn't really push in. You know, here's your lever for your vent, you know, on your heater. You can hear the fan turn on. There's a couple little toggle switches, and I'm not sure exactly what those go to. Oh, there you go. The little light lights up there, too, on the fan. It was kind of low and high speed. So, blinkers, you can hear those working. Oil pressure's good, you know, fuel gauge and stuff. So we'll go ahead and take it for a little spin here. The wipers aren't working. I think those are, let's see here. When we drive, I can hear it wanting to start, and they're not moving. But when we're driving it, maybe a little more vacuum, we can hear it. And when you want to put the top down, you turn those little knobs out. So we'll cruise it here and show you a couple other things. Emergency brake does work, but I have my foot on the brake sitting here. So then I decided to kill it. So I did it again. Sorry. Sometimes I screw up. Not just sometimes, but all the time. You can hear for second gear there. It actually rides really nice overall. If Keegan looks underneath the seat here, you see that little, pretty cool. So we'll cruise down here, and we're about 45 miles an hour right now. The gas gauge does work. I can see it came up a little bit just because we were on an incline there, but I don't think the odometer is working because the trip meter at the bottom hasn't moved yet. We'll probably drive it about, I don't know, 5 miles and I'll see, but I definitely don't think that's working. It's still 45.06, so it's not working. So the miles are going to be unknown, but honestly it probably doesn't matter that much, the age of the car and the significance of it. So anyways, we'll actually I lied. Take a look. 45.07. So the odometer does work. To take everything I back, it's really important that the odometer works, but the trip meter's not working. So anyways, we'll cruise it around and show you some more stuff. Underneath the little Ford here real fast. You're obviously going to see all the still photos and everything like that, but it's just kind of nice to take a video underneath in general. I can point out different things that we've done, you know, concerns, anything like that. Definitely rust and structure is what we're looking at. You know, and this is the second thing I look at when I look at a car in general. You don't even know this one was built by Winfield. You know, I'm still going to crawl underneath, take a look. You know, the first thing I look at is how pretty it is, and then I'm underneath just like we're doing right now. So we're just going to go from the front to the back. Actually, the frame is in really good shape. You know, the car's not all undercoated out or anything like that. Frame is in excellent condition. I haven't seen any rust, any issues or anything like that. Shock mounts and everything look great. You can see the back of the juice brakes. You can see we put new cylinders, new hoses as well. Brake shoes look really, really good. Tires look good. Front suspension, you know, is old, but you know, it actually drives really good in general. You know, it's a 1937. You're gonna see small little seeps. Haven't really had much hit the floor. I think we've had a couple little drips. You can see a little dampness around here, you know, up there around the oil pan and stuff, but nothing major. We did put a new oil or water pump on the left side. You can see one little drip right there and a little bit of dampness, but I think that's probably coming from the oil pan from what I can see there. So in the future you might want to replace it or just leave it. You know, it hasn't been like a major oil dripper. You know, it's actually been sitting here on my lift, well, maybe 3 or 4 days. You can see there's a couple little drips right there. So you might get a drip a night or something like that. A little dampness right there on the back of the tranny again, but I think that's probably from residue coming down here. But you know, it is old, so pretty typical. You can see up inside the fenders look good. Running boards look nice. Inside the frame here does have dual exhaust all the way back. You can see a little crack right there in the muffler and the pipe. Take a look at the frame, back of the fenders. You can see this is where they've altered the back of the fenders there. Winfield did. You can see here as well. And actually really clean underneath there, especially for a convertible, especially for a, you know, pre-war car. Floors look really good. They look to be original floors to me, from what I can tell. Go ahead and look at the rear end. You can see I put a, you know, cylinder back there on both sides. There was 3 hoses that we replaced, rubber hoses. You know, overall, actually really, really clean back here, frame and everything, and no signs of any accidents or anything like that. Pretty clean old car. So hopefully that gives you just a little better look inside, you know, underneath of it in general. You know, check out the auction, make comments, give me a phone call. You know, if you're interested in the car and want to send a friend to take a look, love to meet up with them. So check us out on our website, denwerks.com, and have fun with the auction.